I want a natural IFBB Pro Card.
Please, I want it so bad.
The IFBB Pro Card is one of the highest honors you can achieve in bodybuilding, and they take years of dedicated effort and discipline to achieve. If you're a natty, you've probably been laughed at for telling people you're a bodybuilder. As soon as the shirt comes on, the gains disappear. But if I can call myself an IFBB Pro, I won't care if people laugh at me. I'll have achieved the most I possibly can in the sport, and no one will be able to take that away from me. I'm a natural bodybuilder. I competed for the first time in 2023, but there's a problem. Getting a pro card is really, really hard. So how am I gonna get one? The plan is simple. First, we have to finish top 3 at a regional bodybuilding competition. That brings us to step 2, which is winning the Pro Qualifier in your height class. I'll explain the specifics of how bodybuilding competitions work a little later in the video. And winning the height class alone isn't enough, because once we do that, we move on to the Pro Qualifier overall. That's step 3, winning the Pro Qualifier overall. And then after that, we can move on to step 4, which is becoming best friends with Will Tennyson. Well, that's supposed to say get my IFBB Pro Card, but honestly, this is a better outcome. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, just because it's simple does not mean it's going to be easy. Let's take a look at some finer details. Every year in Ontario, Canada, where I live, there are 13 regional competitions that I could compete in. These are the ones I need to have a top 3 finish in to qualify for the Pro Qualifier in August. But out of those 13, only 7 are natural shows. Unless I want to take the stage against 17-year-olds with 30 pounds more muscle than me, I'd better stick with one of them. The show I've selected is the Stephanie Worldsford Natural Classic this May. Why this show? Literally, just because I think the medals are sick. Can you imagine one of those on me? At my first show in 2023, I technically already qualified for the Pro Qualifier, and that was at what was one of the biggest natural shows in all of Canada for that year. But I decided to take some time off rather than jump back into competing again, because the judges determined that I needed to put on size, as that was my major weakness. So that means we're already 2 years into this journey. But I think I've probably got about 2 to 3 more years until I realistically achieve this goal. The reason I'm making this video is because I want to catalog every moment of this prep and future preps and future bulks for upcoming shows, all to kind of keep a diary of how I achieved this goal. Holy shit. This is probably a good time to mention that if you'd be interested in following along on this journey, it'd be a good time to subscribe. But first, we have to address the glaring problem. I didn't win my first show. So I need to figure out how I will win this time. Before we address how I'll win my next show, let's talk about how bodybuilding competitions even work. So you've picked your show. Now you need to pick the division you want to compete in. As a man, you have 3 choices. Bodybuilding, think Ronnie Coleman. Classic physique, think Chris Bumstead. And physique, think Steve Cook. Any other Steve Cook fans here? Man, I remember when I started lifting in like 2012, so 13 years ago. Steve Cook was like the guy that got me started. Does anybody remember bodybuilding.com? Man, what a throwback. The fitness industry has changed so much. I compete in 2 divisions, classic physique and men's physique. The major difference between the two is that men's physique is all about the upper body and only has 2 poses. I compete in this division mostly for fun. I don't take it as seriously as classic physique. I'm actually planning to buy Demon Slayer posing trunks for this show in May, so that gives you an idea of how serious I am about physique. Basically, if you're competitive in classic physique, you can probably show up for another medal in physique. Classic physique has multiple mandatory poses, and since the legs are out, you better believe you're getting judged on them too. This is the division I'm really passionate about and highly competitive within. Once you've selected your divisions, you get sorted into classes based on height. This helps judges compare you to competitors with a similar frame. For anyone except the first place finisher, the show ends here. You hope to take a top 5 finish, which means you win a medal, but if you come first, you move on to the overall. The overall consists of the first place winner of each height class. Basically, the best of the best for that division. If there are 3 height classes for men's classic physique, then there are 3 first place competitors who face off in the overall. At a regional show, winning the overall is just a flex. But for the Pro Qualifier in August, winning the overall is the only way to get a pro card. So let's talk about judging criteria and what stands between my current physique and the physique I'll need to gain to have a shot at winning the Pro Qualifier. You can actually pay for judge feedback when you compete, so you can bet that at my show in 2023, I took them up on that offer.
For you, just more development. What should you work on? Definitely back. Definitely need a little more shoulder work. Biceps, tries. Got to start of a good back. We just need a little bit more front to back development now. We need a little more thickness in the back.
Damn, I really paid $200 to have him tell me that my issue is that I am small. But if size is the thing I need to work on the most, then what are my advantages going into this show?
As you can see, my genetic advantage is the insane level of conditioning that I can achieve. I can get really, really lean as a natural competitor, which is lucky because how ripped you get absolutely factors into your ranking on show day. On top of that, lots of guys step on stage with no idea how to pose. You can be the biggest, leanest guy on stage, but if you can't pose properly to show that off, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So while the most important part of my strategy to get my IFBB Pro card is to continue putting on more and more size, I can also continuously improve on how lean I am on stage, as well as how well I'm hitting my poses. Every month I want to post a video just like this one, recapping the month's successes and setbacks, and giving you guys an honest insight into what it's like striving towards a long-term goal. And every week, I'm going to be posting a vlog to show you a day in the life on prep, so that you can see how excruciating prep becomes as we inch closer and closer to the show day. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. Just a reminder to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with how I go on this journey. And whether you think I can achieve this goal or not, check out this video right here of my first show in 2023 to prove yourself right or wrong.